Hey guys, this is KSB with Tape, and today you join me on the launch pad for another episode of the Eeloo base series, the series in which I put a base on Eeloo. And today I'm making some preparations because I was gonna go straight to Eeloo and do another Eeloo based kind of episode, which would make sense. But I want to get some stuff set around Kerbal right now and prepare for my next Eeloo mission because I was gonna send this right to Eeloo, but the window is ages away, and I have a station now, and thought I might as well do a little bit of housekeeping, as it were. Anyway, so this right now is my Kethane miner, which will be sent to Eeloo to start mining Kethane, which will be, well, the aim of this series is to put a kind of civilian-y base on Eeloo in one place and an oil mining base in the other one, or Kethane. I call it, I don't know why I said oil, but that's effectively what it is. Um, so that I can use Kethane to make fuel for my rockets, so that I can make my Eeloo base more fuel efficient, so I don't have to keep sending huge tanks of fuel out there. So that's what this is ensuring. It's a fairly basic lander with some drills on it, effectively, and enough equipment to convert Kethane and have all the power for it. Um, the, the launch vehicle's kind of hashed together with lots of boosters and little booster engines. You can see it has a Rockamax and 4 boosters there because the Rockamax alone wasn't enough to push this stage up into space, and that's really annoying. And I didn't want to use mod parts, although I am using Kethane. I just don't want to overload this series with mods. I've overloaded my game with mods, so it keeps crashing, which is really, really fun when you're making a big series. But yeah, but it's okay. It's because I mess around with mods so much. I've really got to do another mod mashup episode. I really enjoy them. But yeah, this is Bob and Kerbal Kerman. They'll be sitting in orbit for a long time. They're not going to the station today. They're testing out the worthiness. I don't know what they're doing, but they're just going to be sitting in orbit for a while until probably the next episode when I start up the Kethane mining. So yeah, the stage is almost burnt out, and it is almost pushed it into space. This kind of I didn't expect how heavy this craft would be, but you see there's this above the stage. There's an empty, well, not an empty fuel tank, a fuel tank without an engine. And that's just basically so I can pump fuel into those 2 engines which will be doing the Eeloo burn. I decided not to kind of put any more drive section on it because that would be unnecessary mass, and it seems kind of stupid to be unfuel efficient about sending a fuel miner into space, although it will surely generate enough fuel in the future to pay off whatever fuel that it uses on Kerbin. Or maybe it'll be in like one episode and then I'll make a better one. Who knows? I haven't really kind of planned that far ahead, because as we all know, no one plans space missions. We just kind of do them. Yeah, talking of planning space missions, the Orion test flights next year, that'll be awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. It would be even more awesome if I was on it. That'd be cool. But yeah, no, Orion, for those of you who don't know, is NASA's next spacecraft for I was going to say Eeloo. Yeah, they're going to Eeloo. They've found out how to get into the Kerbal space program. No, they're going to asteroids mainly, and eventually Mars, if SpaceX don't beat them there. Although Elon Musk says that he wants to put men on Mars or women on Mars in 10 years, but that kind of relies on how much science NASA does, because you kind of have to have a better understanding of Mars. I reckon NASA will probably get there first, or Russia. Yeah, Russia. No, you never know. I don't think they have any immediate issues for immediate plans, and the kind of space industry has become fairly universal these days. The International Space Station and us all sharing. It's a very nice area of the world. I think it could, well, in Star Trek, I'm pretty sure it unifies humanity. I'm not really sure. Wait, what was I doing with the camera then? This is post commentary, so I have no idea what I'm doing with the camera. I'm pretty sure this is just a one-time time accelerate, but I left this launch in. Most of the other launches have been cut out, but I felt I should probably leave a launch in, kind of put some content, because this is it's actually quite difficult to launch. Originally it had one extra booster engine, another nuclear engine on that fuel tank, but that kept breaking and it was really hard to get into space, so I kind of compromised on the spacecraft rather than the launch vehicle, which probably not best, but in real life most people don't think, oh, here's my spacecraft, let's build a launch vehicle. You get your spacecraft and you buy a launch vehicle, like the Titan landers, the first kind of landers to go to Mars. Oh, and before I talk about the Titan landers, that stage burns out, and now I have to use some of the nuclear engine fuel to complete my burn, which is kind of annoying because I wanted all of that for going to Eeloo, but I have more than enough. But anyway, yeah, the Titan landers. There was Titan 1 and Titan 2, which landed on Mars to see if there was life on Mars. Well, they were fairly inconclusive, but there were originally going to be 3. And they were going to send... Well, they sent Titan 1 and Titan 2 in a separate... I've forgotten what launch vehicles now. Viking? I think they were Viking launch vehicles, Viking somethings. Because that was cheaper. But when to ascend 3, they would have to bought a Saturn V rocket, which is the moon rocket, and that would have been incredibly expensive. So they didn't want to have to buy a Saturn V rocket just to send an extra lander out there, which they probably should have, because they cut out a very important experiment called the Wolf Trap experiment, I believe. So if they'd had a third experiment, they may have done better at proving life on Mars. But they kind of did it in a way that you'd prove life on Earth, which is kind of very different to what you should do. But there's another lander going out to Mars fairly soon to kind of probe underneath the surface, because we're kind of only looking at the surface with the rovers and things, so you know. And now I'm just demonstrating the capability of fuel pumping through the spacecraft. And this does have a kind of a kethane tank and kethane generators and 2 kethane drills and lots of kethane, not a kethane generator, a kethane converter. There is a kethane generator on my Eeloo station. Just in case I run out of power, I could use a kethane generator. I just kind of quite like it. And in the new kethane thing, there's a thing, there's a part called, I think it's called Wait No Stop. So if you run out of fuel, you can put your Kerbals in it and make kethane. I believe that's it. I might do a video about that, because that looks kind of funny and awful. Awful. You kill Kerbals, liquidize them and turn them into kethane. Well, actually, kethane's a gas. But anyway, this is, I'm now doing a little bit more station construction around Kerbal. This is a fuel tank in my ensconced launcher. Basically, it's just easier to surround it with a launch vehicle. Obviously, you'd never do that in real life, but this isn't real life, and as much as I love realistic launch vehicles, I don't bother. But anyway, I didn't want to make you sit through all that. So here I am, 350 meters away from the space station at about 2 times time accelerate, making my final slowdown so that I can maneuver in with RCS, with this RCS tug I continually use. So I'll just ditch that bit of the launch vehicle, and that's gone, and start pulling my spacecraft, pulling my fuel tank into the station. Hopefully not smashing it, because that would probably, you know, cause some damage. But I do at some point skip through this, because this took like quite a long time, because it's a huge fuel tank and a tiny RCS tug. So there you go, this is a beautiful crossfade. I just go insane with crossfades when I have to cut out uploads instead of just having it janky. And it's probably annoying, but I just felt like I'd go nuts. But anyway, we're moving in fairly slowly to our largish station. I do like constructing crazy stations, because in career mode I've started kind of having to build smallish stations, and it's fun, but I kind of like doing crazy big things, and I kind of lose a bit of that when I'm just playing, doing not that much. I like the contrast, because I really enjoy playing career mode, but I quite like doing this kind of stuff as well. I think Kerbal Space Program is a really great place right now, you know. Anyway, that is the fuel tank on there. That is always good. Look at our wonderful arrays of solar panels. And, oh yeah, I left loads of fuel in that stage I ditched. But it doesn't really matter. I've got tons here. Hopefully I won't need too much. And I'll just put all the RCS in from the tug. And that broke off that docking port. I put that on there so I could expand the fuel thing. But when I decoupled it, it just ripped off. And that was really annoying. Anyway, so let's send this RCS tug away. At some point I'm going to keep one of these on the station, because it could be really useful, but, you know, I kind of, Anyway, so this, if you saw my last video I made, I did a cargo SSTO, so I'm kind of using this. I want to start using this to take people to the station. There is now a docking port on the bottom, and it also has a cargo bay, so I can take satellites into orbit, which it's doing right now. This launch doesn't go perfectly, actually. In fact, you will see what happens in a little bit. I left deadly reentry on, so it had some problems, as you'll see. That's a perfect takeoff. Wonderful. If you want to know more about this, you can see it in my last episode. You can see I have multiple overheating problems, and now it's starting to look like solid rocket boosters, but that's actually fire, because I am starting to burn. There you go, I've lost 2 engines, and lost that plane, so I'll have to be turning deadly reentry on in the future. But now I'm taking something called the Eeloo shuttle up, which will be shuttling crew to and from the Eeloo station and the Kerbal station in the future. Probably not for a while, until I've got more infrastructure on Eeloo, but I do intend to be using this quite a lot. But anyway, we're slowing down and coming into the, well, it's called Station Habitation Ship right now. I've really got to call it something good. Oh, I'm a little worried that my playback's gone a little tiny bit janky. Jeez, that does look a bit... 1 second. Yeah, so that I just had to cut something there because my video editing thing has decided that it's not going to play in 4 times time accelerate, so I've cut a big bit out so it doesn't make it a too long episode. But yeah, so this is the shuttle, and I just skipped out that bit, and now we're coming in closer to the station, because that took quite a while as well, because well, I had to maneuver in almost all of it with RCS, because it is at the launch vehicle I used can lift about 20 tons, and this weighs about 20 tons. So this is at the top end, so I kind of had to mainly use this craft to maneuver in, and I didn't want to use any of the fuel, just the RCS, which is low ISP, and it's better to burn RCS off first, although I refuel it, so it, but I might as well burn the RCS rather than the fuel. Yeah, and obviously I'm going to be using RCS for docking, so it made more sense. But anyway, this has 3 crew in it, which and this station can hold absolutely loads of crew, which is good, because I will hopefully be keeping lots of crew here, although this is probably going to be my only craft for getting to and from Eeloo for a while, until until I make more craft, I guess. Yes, so I'm just manoeuvring this in as is very clear. Yeah, oh, so this can take 7 people, as you can probably see. Oh no, you can't see, but there's a 3-person command pod and a 4-person habitation thing, so it can take 7 people to and from Eeloo, so it should be fine. I might build 2 so that I can go at different transfer windows and things, and have one at Kerbal and one at Eeloo, but there's not that many docking ports at Eeloo, so I don't want there to be too much traffic, and I don't want it to fly out a docking ring. I want to start kind of moving people to and from Eeloo. Although I haven't set up that much stuff, and I haven't even set up my fueling thing yet. Kind of my fuel mining corporation. Yeah, that'd be cool. Actually, no, I was going to say that'd be cool if you could start selling resources. If they ever implement resources in the game, but that'd be ridiculous, because it would be incredibly inefficient to mine resources on other planets and bring them back, unless it was like diamond, I guess. But that would, there's like planets that are almost entirely diamond, but if you bring back huge amounts of diamonds, it devalues diamond, and then that doesn't really help the market. But I'm just going to put the Kerbals in the station for a while, because they're going to be here for a long time. They might not even go to Eeloo. I might bring them back before they do. But yeah, these are probably some of the project. I wonder which Kerbals did I take out to Juna? Because I know I took out the big 3, the commanders. But I'd like to see which ones go to Eeloo, and see which ones have the most experience with space stuff, because Project Duna was a big mission. But anyway, this has kind of this is the end of the episode, I guess. I'll stop talking about past missions. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you don't mind that it hasn't been too much around Eeloo, and I hope you've kind of appreciated that this is a big part of space, kind of a bit of housekeeping. But anyway, I do hope you've enjoyed this. I do hope you are enjoying this series, and yeah, if you've liked the video, feel free to like the video. That'll help me out a lot. That'd be great. Yeah. Oh, and if you are interested in other stuff, I have another channel with a friend of mine. I've mentioned that so much, so there'll probably be a link in the description. But anyway, this has been KSP with Tape. I'll see you next time.